I may sound off because I got my earbuds, but we'll be all right. Who cares? I've been wearing my stuff all day, baby.
Yeah, man, we got us one.
Oh man, I had to give it. Normally I wait a little bit, but I was watching that kick. I was recording it live. I had to give it the official hymn. I had to give it that's what I believe by Fred by Donnie McClurkin.
Man, I'm a share. So you already posted it?
Yeah, I posted this on Twitter, but I prayed for deliverance. Deliverance I received. Oh man, this shouldn't be so happy about a win against Syracuse. But good night, boy.
For real. Shoot, down there been crying myself to sleep the past 4 weeks.
As my boys is geek, man. I just saw Amari's IG live before we hopped on this, man. The boys celebrate, man. I want the boys. Listen, man, we're gonna say some stuff, man, and we're gonna talk that talk, and we're gonna be honest and real. But at the end of the day, if victories were as easy to come by as everybody thinks, everybody would do it. So I want them boys. Before we even get into all of this, I want them boys to enjoy. I want the fans to enjoy every second of this, because just think about how many losses we've had this year come at the last, like on the last second, and even for the field goal kicker for Fitz, man, for his confidence and his self-esteem, man. You need these things. You need these things, man. So congratulations to them boys, man. Congratulations, Coach Norvell. Congratulations to, a lot of them boys. I was actually just talking with somebody about this, because I really hate how people say that these boys don't quit, because I think that's the minimum. Like, that's the minimum that you should do. But they gutted it out, went through it. A lot of adversity in this, and a lot of troll material at the same time. But at this, like I'm telling people, man, y'all don't know the struggles that these boys have gone through, man. Because forget them boys, man. Y'all don't know the struggles that we went through. Because I was just hanging out with Miami Hurricane legend, and I used to work with them, Leon Searcy. And I don't know about you, man, but like the fans, the rivalries aren't anywhere near as big when you get done and you're years removed as the fans make it. Like, I joke, like the fans treat this like it's gang banging, like their colors don't run or whatever. I'm like, y'all need to chill out a little bit, man. Some of us do business with each other, we work with each other.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of dogs from the other side.
Yeah, some of us came up like you're gonna get knocked out, and like we're gonna be living our best lives, but shit. But I was talking with Big Leon, and I was telling them, I said, man, listen, dog, y'all lost by a field goal. So we're not finna have that happen, man. And we're gonna beat Syracuse, and we're gonna right the course, man. But like I said, man, it's good game, all good game, because it was a win. But we're gonna do what we do every week. In case you didn't know, and I didn't give the intro, this is Inside Drills, instant reaction show. Inside Drills, the only podcast of those who've actually lived it, and two, the only podcast where we're gonna hit it rough, raw, right, wrong, or indifferent. You might not like everything that we have to say, but at the end of the day, I can speak for probably Freddie too. But I know I scored in both them end zones at Dope. Gave my blood, gave my sweat, gave my tears, and for the best years of my life to make you guys fans. And at the end of the day, y'all played with me on the video game, not the other way around. But we come in here, we talk about the game as those who have lived it, and just a lot of good, a lot of bad. But at the end of the day, you can build upon this. So, man, how you doing, bro?
And I'm good, man. Sure, we got us a win. Like, I'm feeling good. Like I played out there with them boys. But like you said, it's a lot of good, a lot of bad. But hopefully, like, just getting in this win column, like, hopefully that helps them out with their confidence. Because I know once you get in that a few losses build off each other, then guys start losing confidence. Guys aren't trusting each other. So much happens. Then when you get a win, guys start buying in. You never know what it can do. So hopefully this helps us move in the right direction from this point. Because like you said, it's so many losses that came down to a last play, a field goal. So hopefully this helps.
Before I even really get into it, man, there's a person, like if I had to give a game ball, man, I would give it to Keir Thomas, a transfer. For the first time, I saw effective leadership. And not the leadership in what people think. Like, leadership isn't yelling on the sidelines. Leadership isn't just your play on the field. Leadership is about how do you get the people around you, how do you make them better? And there was a play where I believe Brendan Gant gave up a big play and gave up a touchdown. It was 3rd and long or whatever, one of the earlier touchdowns. And I got a text message, and they talked about it on the sideline. Sideline reporter talked about it. She didn't give the full. She just said Keir Thomas got into it with Brendan Gant. And from what I was texted, because one of my homies, their seats, our seats that I have too, are literally right behind the bench. And my man Keir threw a helmet at Brendan Gant. and then cussed him out because you're not doing your job. And then proceeded to go out that next drive and make plays. That is leadership. I'm giving my heart. I'm giving my all. I'm out here busting my ass, and I'm tired of you fucking up. Like, it's not that you're trying to fuck up. I'm just tired of you doing this because that's not what we were coached to do. We know we have a job, or even fuck it if you're coached or not. You know you're not supposed to do that. And to see that, that's why you brought some of these transfers in from different programs, even though South Carolina is not a winning program per se. But that's why you brought some of these guys in to become leaders. Boy, my son wanted to come in and give his comments on the win. So there's all kinds of energy going on in his house right now. Man, I wanted to give him a true shout out and give him his propers on that.
Man, it's funny hearing the story because it made me think back to a situation when I was in college with Timmy Jernigan. Like, everybody was tripping on defense, and Tim, it's a big dude, man. Next person mess up on the play, y'all know what to do. He said, I'm slapping you. And I'm like, man, I ain't really trying to get slapped by Tim, dog. So I'm gonna get right. Like, come on. But yeah, you gotta have guys step up like that. You respect it. We respected what Tim did and what he stood for. And I'm sure the same thing is for Gant and Keir Thomas. He went out there right after calling him out, and he balled.
Right. You
gotta have that. You gotta have that. Guys like that. Like, I'm not only gonna tell you what to do and call you out when you're not doing it. I'm finna show you the right way to do it.
Right. And he was a menace on the field today. Got tons of tape. Jermaine Johnson was up and down. There were some couple big plays that happened because he didn't get the sack or the tackle in the open field, but he also did some stuff, man, that you got to put on the NFL tape, man. Again, one of the things where he basically saw the quick swing route, stepped out, made sure that the guy wasn't able to get that, and then went back in and made the tackle. Those are things that are good, but what's still missing is the consistency. And it's a consistency in play calling and making plays. On defense, I'm going to go out here and give the most unpopular statement in Florida, in all of Florida State media, podcasts, social media, regardless of what you feel and if he'll be here next year or not. It's not all Fuller's fault what's going on with this defense, man. These guys are in really good position, and you're taught from Pop Warner ball. Hell, we teach it in flag football. You don't give up leverage, and especially with a scrambling quarterback. And they made this quarterback look like the second cup. Like, he looked like White Vic, not Mike Vick, White Vic. He looked like Lamar Jackson. He looked like, and he wasn't that fast, but you see these things, and you see, like, inopportune times. They did have less penalties this week, which was dope, but it's just things that, like, if these guys can consistently put up stuff, and I'm going to also tell you, like, this is when you know you're going to have a team that's really, because they could have, this game should have been over a long time ago. You got to put your foot on somebody's neck, and you can't let up. You got to snap it. I hope that doesn't get me banned from Facebook, but like that, I'm not talking about literally, like, but like figuratively. You have
figure of speech, Facebook. Hey, don't take us out of that.
You got to do this in the game, man. And it's like you have it. The defense does this great thing, stops, then they punt it, and then we muff a punt, or we go 3 and out, or we do something that's disheartening. Like we got to come up with something, and because we got to have some organization to the stuff. But like, and then. The adversity. We have been. Now, if you want to tell me that he's not the best quarterback in the nation, I have no argument, wholeheartedly agree with you. I believe we could maybe make some play calls to be better, but I'm with you. I don't have an argument to say he's a Heisman Trophy type quarterback. But we have consistently said on this show that Jordan Travis is the best quarterback in that quarterback room. Mackenzie Milton is a phenomenal story and probably adds leadership in another set of eyes. I think he's going to be, in 20 years, he might be Mike Norvell as far as a coach goes. He just doesn't have it right now. And that happens. When you have a traumatic injury like he had, you don't expect these things. But we expect wins. And you can't tell me that if Jordan Travis is playing the Jacksonville State game, because remember what happened with Jacksonville State last year. Without Jordan Travis, you don't win that game. We put Tate Rodemaker out there, and he almost lost it. You probably don't beat Wake Forest. You definitely win last week. Because even this game, outside of the defense making plays, what he was able to do with his legs to extend play, like that last drive was all him. It was all grit, all determination, and for him to not fold and like go in the tank when you can, every Mike Norvell win. Like Mike, here's the thing, Mike, you getting paid a lot of money, bro. You need to break. You need to give him an NIL deal because your 4 wins that you have in Florida State are all attributed to 13, and all you've done. And again, your job is as a coach, put the best 22 out on the field, 11 at a time at the field. But all you've done as a coach is shown that you don't have confidence in him. And all he's done for you is really put you in the best positions to win. So that's another guy I want to give a major shout out to. And then I'm going to give a shout out to Rob DeLoach's baby boy, Kalen, on that goal line stand coming downhill. It's just it's so many things that you can like, hey, this is good. You're like, okay, now we got to clean this up because this was bad. So that's why I hope in the film room they give a little bit, hey, this is bad. We can't have this. But hey, it's one of them games where for the first time, you can go and say, hey, shoot, hey, this sucks. You push it, run that back. Can't do that. But this was sexy right here. We do this all the time. We're gonna win a lot of ball games. So those are things that I'm definitely that just really stood out right out of the gate. That Fuller's nowhere near as bad a DC as the social media slander gets. Now, we can talk about coaching and put them in better situations, but the play calling is there. Maybe they need to do what Mickey used to do, Big 4, before every practice, Big 4 tackling circuit, so we can learn how to tackle a little bit better in the open field. But as far as putting guys in positions, man, yeah, like even that you got covered like on the one touchdown with 14 when the 14 was wide open, man. You got covered too. You got a guy who you got a vertical extending, and you got a safety in the back to help you. You see a guy coming across the field, you literally break off of that, and it's a pick right to you instead of a touchdown. You're doing somebody else's job in zone, and that's how you get beat. You got to do your job, man. And that's, again, the play. That's not the play calling. That's literally putting them in the right position. But we won, though. We won. Shout out to man. Fitz, if you're 21, we'll put NIL through the 5th quarter deal. I got your tab, baby.
Man, shout out to him. Both of those guys, like build on what you said about Jordan Travis, man. I know it's been a battle for him, and just shout out, like being mentally tough at the quarterback position is big. And I know coming in, just hearing the noise with Mackenzie Milton coming in, I know it was a struggle for him, but just being able to battle through all that noise and getting injured and everything, and then coming back and putting us in the situation to win this game, man. Like you said, we've been a team that's backed him all season, the things that he can do with his legs and extend plays, like just him responding back to adversity and Fitz, you struggled all season kicking, but you got us the big one. First in the win column. Hope it builds on your confidence. I know with kickers, it's all mental. You miss a few kicks, now you're in your own head, changing up your routine. But hey, man, stick to everything you've been practicing. You're here for a reason, and let's continue to build on this.
That's the most. What you just said was a full sermon in of itself. Is with this win. If anybody wants to, like, I know people like to take sound bites and take stuff, cut that right there. Everybody in the locker room needs to hear this. You're there for a reason. Like, you're not as bad as what people are. Well, your record is your record, but you can't be as bad as what your record is. Because every one of you, even sometimes, like, I don't know when the bye week is, but if the bye week, you got to go home. And for me, I hid mine. Mine is still under my bed. It's under my dresser at my mama's house. I got the old Nike shoe boxes full of my college letters. You know, don't read the stock ones, the handwritten ones, where the coach was talking about how good. Most of these guys, all these guys, had multiple Power 5 offers. If you have multiple Power 5 offers, something about you was attractive to somebody coming out of school, which means you have a skill set, guys. The wins build on that. Remember why you're there and try to make the best out of it and win. And I love, again, like I said, I love the celebration with Amari. Tell you what, man, there's some NIL deals that we have with some kids that make it very difficult to get them, to put them in front of everybody right now. Because of the losses, we may try to get some stuff with him later on in the week. Now that they finally got that monkey off their back, but now you go out there and get number 2 because next week is a tough one. But you beat them last year, and you know what you can do with North Carolina. So let's just go in. I want to end the show on the good note. So let's start off with what was some of the ugly that you saw.
You talked about it a bit on the defensive side of the ball, with the quarterbacks standing in your lanes, taking bad angles, over pursuing. You've seen it a lot. And I think on the first big run he had, the touchdown run, my issue was once he got past the first level, where were our defensive backs? Where was the pursuit from the second level? You saw it coming in later in the game, but that we talk about effort and how the team shows more effort. I look back at that clip, I didn't see any defensive backs in it. So we can't allow that to happen, and that happened a good bit throughout the game, over pursuing and things of that nature. But I did see the effort get a little better on that, but that can't happen. Like, you're a team that's trying to win the ball game, you're 0-4. Your mindset has to shift if you're really trying to change the culture. And another thing, I say, like, just in situations, man, running them hoes, man. Like, them guys, what we call them the Sean boys, Trey Sean, Jay Sean. We get up, just continuing to lean on them. I know that was a thing that they talked about a little bit this week, guys pulling up pictures of 9-man boxes against goal line offenses, man. Like, we got a little experience with that, but man, continue to feed those guys and lean on them, because the offense runs off of them, and continue to have them rolling. Trayshawn Ward had a big run today. It was a beautiful run. I know you do your little thing on TikTok with the film. Go back and show that clip from his big run. That was beautiful. His patience and everything, man. I love to see those guys get rolling, but just continue to lean on them. I think sometimes they'll get rolling and we'll take it away from them by going in a different direction, but continue to lean on them. And that was really two of the things that I said, because it got us in the bond where we had to fight. And I felt like you said, we continue to run them. This ain't even a game.
Right. It's my ugly is what you were talking about, alluding to, is the overall lack of effort sometimes on defense. There's not a consistency on the levels and effort. And why it's my ugly is because that's something that can't be coached but can be dealt with, if you catch my drift. So just to give people a little historical context, is Mickey Andrews didn't play that shit. Like, and to talk about Coach Fuller. So the first time I met the coaching staff, they did this like coaches day where they went to most of the major cities. Phenomenal concept, Coach Norvell. I hope you bring that back because I think that was dope. It was right before quarantine and everything happened, right when they just got there. They came to Jacksonville. I came over, linked up with Dugans, got a chance to see some other cats. Got a chance to meet Coach Fuller. And again, Coach Fuller is a very intuitive person. And this was one of the first times, that's why I told people I don't understand why they said I don't like Mike Norvell, because this is the first time I met Coach Norvell. And I'm going to tell you what made me like him as a person. And I was like, man, he's not one of those guys when he's talking to you, he's bullshitting. Me and him had a quick conversation, right? And I went to go talk I met Coach Atkins, talked to Coach Yak, talked to a couple other cats. And Coach Norvell came back, pulled me to the side, and we were talking about, what we talked about first was I was talking about, hey, man, you need to bring Matt Drills back, buddy. First thing I always tell everybody, every year, bring back Matt Drills. It is a true chaos theory. It was graded. You couldn't get the scores let you know. We knew like if we had X amount of 3s and 4s on every drill, that's a championship team. Here's an ACC championship team. Here's an average team. And quiet as kept, the numbers didn't lie. They told you what they were, and the coaches didn't just give. There weren't no friendly things in there. It was literally the whole goal was to not necessarily break you, but to get you to focus in on one thing so much that you got to come as a team and you can't get through it individually by yourself. So I talked with that, and then Coach Norvell came back to me and literally said, hey, I remember you said, whoop, whoop, whoop. Tell me more about, these are two or three things that I wanted to know more about. And then the next time I saw him, we talked about the same thing. That's just a good quality in leadership and business in general. Like, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, but it's just a great quality. Again, those are the things that I was like, man, I paid attention to those things. But when I was talking with Coach Fuller, I told him Mondays were our conditioning day and our discipline day. And he was like, okay. So you mean to tell me like when he had a notebook and shit. He was like, you mean to tell me like, so, you guys ran your 8 gassers or whatever. And then, because I told him how Mickey had 8, there was 8 gassers on Monday. Pitch a shutout, that takes a gasser off. Hold a team under like 200 yards rushing or something like that, that takes a gasser off. 300 yards of total offense takes a gasser off. Different things that you can get. And what people don't understand, especially late in the year, man, that right there, boy, makes you feel great. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to run them gassers. But I told him, you can make a play on defense and still get punished. Like you can make a sack, and if you didn't make the sack, the way Coach Andrews wanted to make it, that's a missed assignment. So you're gonna get a gasser added. If you loaf, he didn't play loafs. You get a gasser for the loaf. Missed tackles, gassers. So like on Mondays, we called them track meets because I would leave. You would be leaving often because like for me to run a gasser or get punishment, like I had to show up late to a meeting. I would like have to or fumbles. Billy Sexton didn't play fumbles. Like you fumble the ball, you ain't gonna never see the ball again, and you run in 5 stadiums per fumble. So like if you fumble twice, you are in 10 stadiums and you run that shit on Monday. Not on Tuesday. He was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you run your team conditioning, and then on Tuesday you run your disciplines? And I was like, nah, bro, nah, Mickey gonna be there with you like the whole time. Like he gonna watch you. And I was like, and it's time. So it's not like you just running it to run it. Like if you don't make that time, that gas doesn't count. I say that to say there was the accountability, and I don't know what they do, but it doesn't feel like there's a fear of something's gonna happen to me on Monday if this happens. And if people don't believe me, go back if you get a chance. If you really like game film, go back and watch some of those. It's a reason why you see 11 hats to the ball, because if you didn't see that, that could be considered as a loaf. So people are flying around. So while I say Jermaine Johnson shouldn't have missed that tackle. If Jermaine Johnson misses a tackle, there should be 4 other guys minimum flying to the ball for that guy. He's not that fast. So the ugly is sometimes the lack of effort mentally, like that is holding the team back. And then I'm going to go to offensive play strategy. It's still not there. And it's not route concepts. It's not any of these things. It's like what you just talked about. The Shawns, Jay-Sean, Trey-Sean. These guys are putting up stupid numbers. Like, for us to go into a game plan and not have 35 to 40 carries or touches out of the backfield alone on the ground is mind-boggling. Like, that's where it needs to be at, especially when we're up 10. And this is really where the game should have got out of hand. And I don't fault Travis for the interception. And that's one thing I will say. All of Travis's interceptions can be explained. The tight end, Cam, who played a good game for the most part, didn't even pinch the bitch. Like, you gotta like that's literally catch and throw. Like, you're not like, but to his defense, it was first down. We shouldn't have even had to go there. Hand the ball off. We get 2 yards. 2 yards is better than an interception. And to go back to something that you were talking about, some of these guys are trying to, and I get it, everybody needs content. You're trying to break down something and sound intelligent at the same time. But here's what people don't understand about the running game. You can put 13 guys in the box. There's always numbers, right? So there's a way to run against it. There's counters. They're like a true counter, like where you literally are faking a stretch, faking one way, they're coming back. There's a hesitation. There's the sprint draw. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do to make sure, and that's why you see guys pull. So yeah, all right, we lined up here. It's 4-on-3, but we're pulling the backside guard. Those guys if the guys on the other side, like if we're running right, and there's a pull, and the left side defensive end makes the play, right? All that means is he broke contain. So the guy in the box needs to radio down to the OC. Say, hey, the defensive end is crashing. The defensive end is crashing. So you know what we do after that? We run a bootleg off of it. It's information get. Sometimes the 1 to 2 yard run ain't the end of the world. It's an information getter. And we set things up. And so that's my ugly is that, because now when I get to the good, I'm going to take a piece from some of the ugly and bring it to the good.
I got you. So I'm with it. Oh, I got a question for you. I seen a guy after they scored, Syracuse scored. I seen a guy going back on Florida State. He's going back and forth. He's laughing and joking with the quarterback that scored after the dive.
Man,
listen, I guess they played together, but this is what I'm telling people. I had a conversation with my dog. I was like, bro, you left Florida State, but if you would have came in dope, I was trying to take your head off. We can talk after the game.
Man, dog, let me tell again. People don't. It's in you or it's not, right? It's in you or it's not, bro. I kid you not. The guys, everything you see about me on social media, it might be a slight amplification, but that's all. Anybody who actually, my boy Reggie would tell you, I might be worse in real life with some of the things that I do. I tell my son. My son was playing, and he was like, "Daddy, that's my classmate Logan. He's on the other team." I said, "Hey man, let me tell you straight up, baby. I don't give a fuck who over there. That's not your." He's like, "I know, Daddy. I know. He's the enemy on the field right now." And we can laugh, and I got better when I went to the league, right? So even after the game, I didn't want to talk to you. Like after the game, like we can talk in the off season when you come back home. I don't want to talk to you. Like I just went. 3 hours or however long the game is, going back and forth battling. Ain't no laughing and keying going on over here. See you at Thanksgiving. See you whenever come back over the summer or something like that. But I'm cool when the competition is over. During the game, man, I'm not feeling like no good jobs. None of that shit. Nah, bro. I'm here for one reason and one reason alone is to kick ass and eat ice cream. And ice cream's after the game. So I'm kicking ass on the field. That's what I'm trying to do, man. And that's a thing that's either in you or it's not in you. And you got to find cats that's like that. And then you know how you eradicate that? slap the shit out of people when they come on the sideline. Like, nah, dog, I see you laughing at Kiki Ken. You need to pick a side. Got to pick a side, bro. Like right now, this ain't the time. This ain't the time. Now, if we up 50, then all right, man. Maybe I may have some stuff. But if I'm up 50, I want to be up 60. That's just the way I look at it. I don't want to be when I'm in. My Carmen Coleman to tell you, I'm a phenomenal friend. I'm a terrible enemy. Because I ain't just trying to win. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to embarrass you. I'm trying to do everything that I can to let you know. Like, even with some of the blocks, boy, it's just, this is going to go into I'm going to my bad because I saw it. But my blocks, if I can get my hands in them shoulder pads and when I jack it up and like you can hear, that's the people who don't understand. That's the noise they make. When they go right here and you just jab that shoulder pad into their throat. And it's two choices they have in life at that moment. They can try to fight it and choke, or they got to lean their head back. And when they lean their head back, it's like seeing a pastor baptize somebody. That's where the hit them with the hymns came from. Is that it's basically, we would call it you baptizing somebody. And I love that. And it helps your running game. It's a mentality. People feed off of it. It gets holes. My bad is at Freddie, I volunteered your services. I volunteered bar none services. I don't know where the hell Chad at. We can get Chad here. We could do like what they did with the tight ends over the summer. We could have a fullback something. Mike, Coach Yak, I'll come. It's 2.5 hours. I'll be there. You let me know. Even if it's on a Friday night and I'm coaching right now, my obligation, I love them kids, but fuck them kids. I need y'all to win. If I got to come over on a Friday night to make this happen, we'll come over on a Friday night. But we need a fullback summit because this is getting ridiculous. This is really getting ridiculous. It is like you have give me Wyatt Rector. Give me Wyatt Rector, DJ Lundy, and any other cat that you may have. And just let us talk to him. Let us show him some stuff. Like show him a couple key points on what you can do to like make this running game in short yardage situations better. Like we're coming off of our goal line. We're coming into like, nah, man, we being too sensitive. And the reason why I call it my bad is that you saw on the other side. Did you see number 5 from Syracuse?
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh my God. I couldn't. It's like you can't cheer because it's like he whooping your little brother's ass. But like I'm sitting here like, why the fuck? What are y'all doing? Dino, just line him. He is having his way with people. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if the game is simple, man, good defense, solid running game, you're gonna win a lot of football games. Like if you don't believe you have a game-changing quarterback yet through development or through recruitment, then what you've seen with Corbin and Ward. Get them another body in there and let's go ahead and change the game. Because then Wyatt Rector is pretty athletic. If I was able to run, if I'm able to do slam release and get yards, if I'm able to run fullback screens when I was playing and run short yardage, there's no way in hell you can't tell me that he can't do it himself. Like it's another wrinkle in your playbook that just makes you more physical, and it helps because there's times when our line just isn't doing what they need to do, and that's just my bad. My bad is that sometimes some of the packages in the situations that we have these young men in isn't optimal to their skill set or to the overall to helping us become better in what we got, and because that's how you truly can alleviate that whole again. You can put up anything you want to put up, bro. Like you can put 12 in the damn box if you want to. If you put another guy in the backfield and he's a hard ass motherfucker, like you're gonna see the pile get pushed. But you got a bad, or is you just combine the bad and ugly together?
Yeah, I'm combining mine together. I'm ready to end it on the good.
So let's end on the good. First and foremost, the good. This is, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the first ever Inside Drill's Instant Reaction Victory Show. I don't know if I thought this was gonna happen, but that's the good is that at key time, in my opinion, at key times, guys stepped up and made a play when they needed to. Johnson made some plays when he needed to. Kiera Thomas made some plays. I talked about Kalen DeLoach. That Trayshawn Ward run, though I would have loved for him to score, but man, that was a lot that he went through. Boy, he put that that he had one guy that he had to make miss, put him in a spin cycle. It's just everything that you want to teach a running back to do. It was just outside of scoring, finishing the drill, but it was beautiful. Then Corbin came down there and scored on the next play, and then again, Keyshawn Helton with some big plays. Parchment with the heads up play on where basically it was a fumble. It was a lateral, and he picked it up, ran it in for a touchdown. Just guys stepping up, because that's something that we haven't had in the last 4 years. At a key point, players got to make plays, and we've had guys sit around saying, "Okay, I think somebody else is going to make a play." And this time we had guys saying, "Nah, that's on me. I'm going to make the play." And I thought that was amazing. I thought it was dope. I hope those guys take that momentum into next week and don't disappear.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. The first win, there's a lot of guys that stepped up, but my good, it's a lot that I could put into it, but I got one. A lot of Florida State fans, after we gave Syracuse back the ball, they thought that they were going to go down and drive on us because of the way the season's been going. Our defense went out there and got us a stop and put us in the situation to go win that game. So shout out to the defense. It was a lot of ugly in that game, but shout out to y'all for getting that stop and putting us in the
froze up,
first win of the season.
You there, Freddie?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said shout out to the defense, man. I know even myself, man, it had me a little nervous, man. At that point, a lot's been going on in the season. I was kind of uncomfortable, but they went out there and got a stop, and they put us in the position to win that game. And I know a lot of people they didn't trust in, and you see everybody on Twitter, oh, man, we 0-5, 0-5. Everybody had it in their head, like it's already done. But they went out there and they got that stop. When it seemed like Syracuse had all the momentum, and that's hard to do. So shout out to the defense. It was a lot to correct from that game, but when the game mattered the most, y'all went out there and y'all got a stop and gave the team a chance to win.
All right. So a couple questions, and then we're going to finish off this Inside Drills instant reaction thing. Make sure you go check us out on the YouTube, Sports Den Live. Go follow. We're finally over 1,000 followers or subscriptions. We're trying to get to 2,000. Make sure you hit the bell so you're alerted. Hit us up on Facebook. Follow Inside Drills as well as Sports Den on Twitter as well. The Travis Hunter situation. Travis Hunter had made it known that he was going to probably watch some games. Great atmosphere, Georgia and Arkansas, especially after coming off of his ankle injury. Hopefully he heals. If he leaves, then, God bless his career. But what I will say is that he's been loyal through a lot worse. If he was going to decommit, the time for me, honestly, to see him decommit would have been Jacksonville State. So there's something that he really, really likes about Florida State. And that's really, honestly, that's true. I joke with people. That's really where MFTK came from. MFTK came from recruitment, and people kept asking me, is this kid coming? I'm like, man, fuck them kids. I only want kids who want to be here. And that's a true guy who I want to see. Hopefully, he makes the decision. And if he doesn't, as long as his interests don't interfere with my interests, I wish him nothing but success. But he's been a pinnacle part of the class. And be honest with you, if tomorrow's their day off, if I'm Mike Norvell, I don't know what the rules are, but I will make sure I go see him. Like just continue. That's why you got to keep recruiting. What they talk about when you got your old lady, you got to date your old lady. You can't just stop once you get married and all that stuff. You got to in recruiting, man. You can't just stop. You got to continue to recruit them, especially when you're having the season that we're having.
And a lot of people, they have issues. They get uncomfortable, uneasy about him taking those visits. But I've seen a lot of guys that didn't take their visits in high school, and they're like, man, that was some of their biggest regrets because they didn't enjoy the time when they were in high school. They were young, and then when you get to collegiate level, pro level, it becomes more business. So you didn't get to enjoy that time when you had it. But man, I've seen guys that have been committed, gung ho, never took any other visits, and then they go sign with somebody else on signing day. The reality,
Sam Howell was committed all season until the week before early signing day. and he went up to North Carolina on a sneak visit, and then next thing you know, he decommitted. We had Altmaier last year, was committed the whole season, well, for most of the season, and then decommitted. Just ride it out. At the end of the day, these are young men that got to make the best decision for themselves. I kind of joke, and I know recruiting's changed, but my son may commit, but we taking all 5 visits because if nothing else, it's a free trip. Like, you never, and it's a game. Like, you never seen some of these stadiums are awesome. I mean, I've played in some of them, but I've never seen them from the other side. And when you're done and maybe you're in media, yeah, you got to. All I can talk about in Notre Dame is how quiet it was when we whooped their ass. And, so I don't know about how majestic it was and all that other stuff that other people have seen. So I've been to Tennessee, so I've seen Rocky Top when it was popping, but I don't, it's a couple other places, but I went on an unofficial. So, and then lastly, somebody asked about Mike getting on Parchment. The only thing I can think about is what that play was supposed to be. So again, it was a quick throw. And what I believe Parchment was probably supposed to do is the same thing that Cam McDonald was supposed to do. He was supposed to block. And if he blocked, it would have been a touchdown for somebody else. It wasn't, and it ended up being a backwards pass. And then Parchment just had the ball bounced our way finally. He was able to pick it up and score. So, again, yes, the touchdown is dope. We needed the points. But at the same time, what could have happened would have been way worse than what did happen. And I think that's why Mike has to do that, because you have to command excellence and the best out of your players.
Exactly. Be playing against a better team, they're going to take advantage of that mistake.
All day, every day. So hopefully these guys build on it, the confidence. They come into next week, have a very spirited, one of the best practices that they can have. Hopefully it builds on that, and going into North Carolina, a big week. These guys if they come out with a win against North Carolina, then we got the bye week, if I remember correctly, and then we got homecoming coming up, which, I guess right now I might as well go ahead and throw a homecoming tailgate. So let's go ahead and put that out there. Inside Drills, homecoming tailgate. Also, for that homecoming game, I will continue to give tickets out. Shout out to the people who listened and donated tickets. That was great. Got nothing but good feedback from the families who went there. If you're done and you don't know what you want to do with your tickets, trust and believe I know some people who would love to come in the dope and make it loud, because you not showing up and us not feeling dope doesn't change what we need to happen in the future. Like, yeah, we're not doing great now, but we need that stadium rocking to make sure we compel the guys who are going to turn this thing around in the future, and we continue to create new Noles. When it's empty, it's just not the same. And I don't know what it was like to play in an empty stadium. So, and that's what made me want to go to Florida State. And I believe probably Freddie was able to see Florida State be pretty rocking then as well. So if you want the best players to come, create the best home environment, create the best all-around environment, and it will get the best to come. So, you got anything else, bro?
No, that's it for me, man. We got us a win. I'm finna have me a good night.
Right, man. I'm about to go out and eat, go light me a victory cigar, crack open some good whiskey, and enjoy myself, man. So you guys do the same thing, man. Enjoy yourselves. Again, enjoy the win. Enjoy the win. And we'll see you guys next week with a good show, and hopefully another Inside Drills instant reaction show where we're talking about we're doing another victory. Y'all be blessed. See you guys later.